So it's actually a little cool if you see us sweat. No, that's because we're hoping we make it to the end of the show.
And I just had some of the jalapenos on my cheddar tots a while ago.
Did you?
Yeah, they were great.
Well, is that what you were talking about, Jimmy? You said, did you even take a bite? He was inhaling them. Over
Yeah, they
just
were awesome,
inhaled them.
man.
He didn't chew them or nothing.
No, they were great. So if
You
see
didn't
me
save
sweating,
any to show the audience.
we'll get some more. Last time I ate in front of you, you tried to shove it down my throat.
No, he didn't try.
No,
He
I
did.
didn't try.
Yeah, I had to eat before you got over here.
But
so.
you notice, I went ahead and put this in between us so you couldn't do it back.
Yeah, that's right.
By the way, just for those of you who know, a couple shows ago, my Gator helmet had gone missing. And if you'll look over behind Jared, my Gator helmet is finally back. And the reason it was missing is because Jimmy, I found it in the dumpster that night.
Goodwill threw it away too because they didn't want it.
So I'm just saying, we ended up getting my Gator helmet back. So that's all good. Now, he's a sound man, knocks over the lights. He's not a lighting man.
That's right.
Anyway, so let's go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say let's jump right into the number one story of the day, Jimmy.
Well,
Is Tom Brady's card that Roger put a bid on it, from what I understand.
oh, his card. I thought he said car.
No, yeah,
yes.
Tom Brady's rookie card.
Rookie card. I did bid, but I think that was like for the first 10 minutes, I bid $10. And it ended up going for
Hey,
what?
I'm gonna have to excuse you now. We
Three.
got a call coming in,
Already?
so let's go to the caller.
All right. Hey, caller. Go. Hey, caller, you're on Armchair Sports. I can help you.
Hey, caller.
Oh,
It's Mama T.
It's
What's up?
Mama T. Look, you're not supposed to know the number. This is not your number.
This
You're
is
not-
men's week.
This is men's week.
Ooh,
Yeah. well-
I didn't say that. I did not say
I'm
that.
dead.
well,
And
Jimmy-
I'm the single one.
Jimmy's
You
gonna
guys
be
can
in the
join me.
pit the whole time. How you? Where you at, Mama
Newsflash.
T? Newsflash. Go ahead.
I'm pulling into work. Actually, I can't talk, but just a second. I just want to call and say hey.
Oh, hey. So what? Anything that you know that's coming out of sports besides the GOAT?
The GOAT won her 7th U.S. title. She's never been defeated,
Really?
ever, in the U.S. competitions. That's all I got to say. I got to go to work.
Who
Love
did
you,
she?
bye.
Who did she beat?
Nobody, because there's nobody
She
good
beat,
enough to
she
beat.
beat everybody.
Name.
No one has ever
someone.
beat her.
Okay. She
Oh.
beat Brian Boitano.
Jordan Childs. Jordan Childs.
There you
Susie
go.
Lee.
Let me
You
let
guys
me Google
gotta
some of them.
listen.
Okay, we're listening. Go
Investigate
ahead.
gymnastics before we talk about this.
We will.
No, listen, I can't talk. I just want to call and say, hey, I got to go to work. Bye.
All right, bye.
We don't even get to defend
Well,
ourselves.
that was it. See,
No,
that's
I mean,
that's
that's
my.
it.
Hey, you guys know my life now. That's Mama T. Here you go. This is it. I got to go now. That was my opinion. I'm out of here.
Yeah, I mean,
That's how I get it. That's
if
how
we're
I
gonna
roll.
go, nobody beat them. I mean, nobody beat Terry Bradshaw.
Yeah, but
Is he
Terry
a
Brown,
goat?
but no, my problem with that is just like I said.
So we're
with
going to lead
baseball.
out into this instead of Tom Brady's
Yeah.
card.
So,
Go ahead.
but my problem with
It's
that
Mama
is
T's fault.
Mama T's fault. My problem with that is Terry Bradshaw had 10 other men with him to help him win that.
Has she got a coach?
Yeah, she's got a coach.
Okay, well,
Yeah, and so did Tom Brady.
I mean, it's just,
But she had nobody else to help her win the Super Bowl because she didn't win the Super Bowl. But she had nobody else there to assist her, to give her 5 yards, to give her 4 yards, to give her a touchdown.
we could go over that all day.
That's my whole
Well,
point.
I think we need to go over because I got to chime in.
Go
He's
ahead.
got to chime in. Go ahead. man.
Well, my thing is, and I'll say the Olympic sports don't get their due at all. Of course, now they're like, they got the greatest job in the world. They train for 4 years for a job that's 10 days long. So let's start with that. But the routine she does, she practices. How many countless hours is that balance beam? And I'm not saying it's not impressive. I can't do it. But you practice it forever. And you're playing against you. Like I said last night, I think on Facebook, I was joking about it. I said, could you imagine doing your floor routine and Mary Lou Retton trying to tackle you while you're doing it? Like, that's the equivalent of sports, period, and when you're in competition against someone. So to me, Serena Williams may be the greatest female athlete ever. She's played other folks, and in longevity, Simone Biles is like, what, 24? I mean, she's won 30. A lot of people don't, the U.S. Nationals, nobody really, the Olympics is where it's at. She's done one. Now, if she goes another, I think she's phenomenal. I'm not taking anything away from her, but she's got the GOAT road
Well,
on her tights.
I understand that.
But
but
and
but-
it's not we're not saying she ain't a great athlete.
No.
We're just saying we don't think she's the greatest of
Okay,
all time,
all right.
but everybody's entitled to their
So
opinion.
my question is,
Okay.
what do you consider a GOAT? Do you consider somebody that has trained since the age of 3, which all athletes, if they're the greatest, they probably have?
This
And
is-
like you said, who else? The balance beam, okay. What about the parallel bars? What about the floor? What about the vault?
Okay.
All that's all-
but all
but
that-
you went to an individual
hold on.
sport, right?
Wait a minute. Let me finish. So she's doing all of those, correct? And she has to compete in each one of those against different people. Now, she may not do this one or this one this week and have to do it next week. But she's having to compete against different people and different countries.
See, I don't believe that.
Why don't you believe it? It's fact.
She's going against herself.
No,
every
she's not
time.
because the
No,
it's
I'm
not
just
because
saying
the score-
I don't think there should be a
that's not-
GOAT
that's not-
because
that
there's
is
so
not
many
true.
different things. You
That's-
can't pick one person as the best of all
So
time.
But she is not going against herself. Have you ever been to a gymnastics meet?
Yes.
Okay, in the gymnastics meet, you have 10 people that go in front of you on the vault.
Right.
You have to beat every
Okay.
one of those 10 people on the vault. So it's not one person.
Okay, well, let me ask you.
It's not
You're
against
going out there
yourself.
to score a perfect 10,
Yeah,
according to what a judge tells you.
right?
Who is stopping you from making that 10? You.
But if she doesn't make that
If
10 and
every
somebody
other
else
girl,
does,
if every other girl has 2 left feet and scores a 2.7, can she take the night off and do like one cartwheel and get off of it? to
Probably,
win?
if she does that.
Okay, well that's you against you, but she's always going to try to do a 10,
right?
which is again you're
But so let's-
going
but-
against your personal self in a game like that. You
But
know,
see, I disagree with you because
bowling's the same way.
here's why I disagree with you.
Okay.
And the reason I disagree is because you're having to get that perfect 10. You're having to make the score 10. If you don't, you get a 9.6. Then the person behind you has to beat that score, or they don't even need to try it.
That's
Their second vault, they get to try it again. So my problem I'm not going to say she's GOAT or she's not GOAT. What I'm going to say is don't discredit just because she is the only person that's there, because football and basketball and baseball and all these other sports are right up front, and we don't look at gymnastics the same way we look at football or basketball or any of those.
I
So
say
I'm
that.
going to stick up for Mama T on this one because I think some of the things that you said are completely wrong.
Okay, and I'm cool with that. So let me ask you this: in the history of sports, is what you and Mama T are telling me.
Mm-hmm.
This 24-year-old gymnast who's went to 1 Olympic Games is the greatest athlete
had no audio.
in the history of sports.
Okay.
Because I think, for one, I think you could, if you're going to be GOAT, greatest of all time, that's one person, that's one whatever. Is she the GOAT of her sport? Is she the GOAT of the Olympics? Is she the GOAT
Okay.
of...
You want me to answer it?
Yes.
Okay. So here's my answer. I'm going to answer it like this. So Joe Montana, how many years did he play pro?
16, 17 years?
Okay. So she's been a pro for 16 or 17 years if she's 24. Okay. So basketball, Michael Jordan, how long was he a pro?
Same, 16.
Okay. She was same 17 years. Okay. So my point is, you just said how long she's been doing it as long as all those other people. LeBron James, how long has he been there? My thing is, I think what's happening is everybody's you've got to look at the totality of the circumstance. You can't just look at you can't look at just the individual or the individual piece, because what you're saying is, okay,
So-
well, she can't be the GOAT because she's only one person doing it.
No, not one person.
She's only playing against herself, is what you're saying.
Okay, well, no, what I'm saying is, okay, so she's been a pro since she was 8.
Yeah.
She's only went to 1 Olympics. Why wasn't she in the other ones when she was 8, 12, 16, 20, and then 24? Like, because you can't be. You're a child.
Exactly, because you can't get into
So
the
you're-
Olympics. It used to be at 18. They moved it to 16, and they just moved it to 15 4 years ago.
So your GOATness didn't start 16 years ago. You might be the
It
GOAT
couldn't
at
have.
what
She didn't have the
now.
opportunity to
but
do
Michael Jordan was the GOAT of basketball the entire 16 years he played.
Okay, all right. There, I agree with you 100%.
Okay.
You just said it. Why? The GOAT of basketball. She's the GOAT of gymnastics, and then you got to go to baseball. You got to go to football.
But that's what I was saying a while
and then
ago.
you put all of these people in one lump sum, and yeah, everybody can argue their sport is better than the other sport, or I'm the GOAT and I'm not the GOAT. So if you say it, you're right, and I agree with you. Michael Jordan's the GOAT of basketball. I'll say she's
Somebody's stomach growl.
somebody's stomach around, or somebody too.
Did you go to JoJo's?
Probably
Yeah,
years
well,
ago.
JoJo's Potato and Mac Shack here in Valdosta.
It gives you sounds like that.
That's what happened when you don't chew your food.
Yeah, man. Hey,
I guess that was it. Let's move on.
But well, I mean, to bring it back around, what I'm saying is, Serena Williams, for instance, I'm gonna say is the greatest female athlete of all time. She had a 20-year run where female tennis was probably at the height it's ever been.
Yeah.
She had a
Yeah.
sister who probably would have been the best tennis player of all time
If Serena wasn't
if
around.
had her sister not beat her out of all those finals. Like, I'm okay with that. Your body of work has to be longer than one Olympics and a few national. And I'm not taking anything.
I'm
with it.
okay with saying
Can we
that.
check audio again? I got somebody said we don't have.
Well, no, that was earlier.
Oh, it's 11 minutes ago.
Okay. I don't have a problem with saying she's
I'd love
the
to have a
GOAT
caller on this.
if
Oh,
she's
yeah.
the GOAT on her sport.
Yeah.
I don't know who you would say is the GOAT in
Yeah, I don't
pro
know
football.
I don't know who the goat of the pole vault is.
But
But if you told if
Pole
but
vault?
I mean,
Or whatever.
if we go by individual records, let me pull him back up.
well, I'll say this: a
But,
guy that
but Rocky Marciano never
I was going
lost.
to say Floyd Mayweather, even though he
Yeah,
lost
he's-
to
He
a
lost
reality
it.
guy.
Okay, we're gonna switch gears now.
50 and 0.
Hey, and this is for you, Jared. But David Willis said Chris Jericho's the GOAT, the only GOAT.
Oh, give it! Oh, come on!
hey.
Come on!
Hey.
Really? Now we're gonna move into
He makes the
wrestling
list.
being the
He
GOAT.
makes the list.
Wrestling being the GOAT. Okay, I'll ask a question.
I
We've
think
got a wrestler
Chris
here.
Jericho could do
Is
could beat
wrestling-
Simone Biles.
Is wrestling actually considered a sport? He's a wrestler. Everybody knows that he travels around. Where will you be this weekend?
Swainsboro.
He'll be in Swainsboro this weekend if you want to go out and
Yeah.
see him.
Um,
But anyway, answer that. That's a good question.
Okay, so I think so. Is the outcome predetermined? Sure. How you get there is, it's if you don't think it's a sport, try it. I'll tell anybody that. Just
Right.
give it a shot, and if you can get out there and do it, and say it's not tough, or I've broken bones, had staples in my legs. I mean, it's not it's not
Did
ham
that
and
come
egg.
from the house or was that?
What's that?
That was the second time, right?
Yeah. Second man.
Hey, and Sid says that Jokic,
Djokovic.
yeah, wins the NBA MVP.
Oh, so did they just announce that?
I don't know. I guess.
Is that his
Well, I guess he
opinion?
needs to
He
call us and
says
let
it.
us know. 229.
You done
252.
forgot.
I remember that.
Golly.
252, 25, 21. My two favorite ages, man.
25, 21.
favorite
So
ages.
give us a call. Sid, if you're out there, call us about that. Let us know if it actually just happened.
Going back to GOATs, Rafael Nadal at the French Open, he's 13-0 in finals. I think for me, the GOAT thing gets thrown around way too much.
I don't like saying one in particular is the GOAT.
Well, and I don't think really, honestly, I don't think
And yes, he
can.
did win the MVP.
Okay, so he did. Of course, the kid is what they say. He's the white LeBron James.
He beat out Stephen Curry and Joel Embiid.
Oh,
So Stephen Curry and Joel Embiid.
And the big thing about that, Curry's not even the playoffs.
No.
So he was
No, but
still
he
in the running.
carried
Well,
Golden
Joel may
State.
not be
He-
much longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
No,
true.
No, I don't think so. I don't think anybody's beaten Brooklyn. We talked about it last week, but jumping around here, you want to go back to Mayweather and his exhibition?
We can. So first, we'll go back. It was $3 million. Is what
Tom Brady's
Tom
rookie
Brady's
card.
rookie card went for $3 million.
For those of you that don't know,
Great.
the GOAT, except when he's in a room with Simone Biles, of football, the 199th pick of the draft, 6th round,
6th round.
7
yeah.
Super Bowls. Everybody's seen all that. If you're watching this sports thing and you don't know who Tom Brady is,
Then you're-
you should go watch something
Yeah,
else.
you should
But
go watch wrestling.
yeah, that's right. Go watch
Wait,
Chris
who
Jericho.
was it? But there was an athlete just a few weeks ago when they was talking about Tom Brady. He said who? Because he really didn't know who he was.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
Well,
But 7 Super Bowls later, and he's 43, and
So,
whatever.
I mean, right now in his time frame, he's probably the best that's playing. And you've got to go back to me personally, this is how I look at it. Each era has their own, and I think like you could go with Michael Jordan, and then you can go with the Mambo, and then you could go with O'Neal, then LeBron. So and then if you go in baseball, you could do the same thing. Like with the Braves was Glavine.
I don't think you've ever seen anybody like Tom Brady, though. I mean, the guy came in the league winning. Guys don't play football. They don't play any sport till they're 43. He's a top 5 QB now at 43 years old. Won his 7th Super Bowl with a team that hasn't won. They got the lowest winning percentage in the history of sports as a franchise. He goes over there, no offseason, no nothing, and wins a Super Bowl at 43 years old, and he's killing it.
He is killing it, but wait a minute. Let's backtrack just a little bit.
I'd like to hear this argument.
How many? Well, I'm just talking about Tampa. How many people did he bring from Tampa with him that was on his Super Bowl teams in Tampa?
In New England?
I mean, in New England, you're right. How many people did he bring down there, though?
Well, Antonio Brown was only there for a cup of coffee.
Well, he got a cup of coffee. He just re-signed again.
I'm talking about in New England. He was there 1 week and then got shipped. Rob Gronkowski was there, but he was wrestling.
But he only came back because of him.
That's right.
Well,
I mean, if he wants to prove to me he's the GOAT.
Do it on his own.
Well,
do it on his own.
He did.
He didn't.
Go to Detroit.
Yeah. Go to Atlanta.
He kind of did.
No, he didn't. He brought the
No,
players.
They brought a lot of players.
They brought
didn't
half
have
the defense in.
Most
They
of
paid
those
for
guys were not there until he signed.
Exactly.
That defense. I mean, they were a 7-9 team with Anus Winston or whatever his name is.
Jameis Winston.
Crab legs.
Yeah, Crab Legs Winston.
Who is now projected to be the starter for New Orleans?
You don't think that Tom Brady being there elevated the guys that were there?
It made other guys want to come that were more talented.
Yes, most definitely.
Antonio Brown was doing Dancing with the Stars, and Rob Gronkowski had been wrestling. So if you take a 43-year-old guy and 2 folks off the streets, and that's what you're saying went and won a Super Bowl,
what they did was
the rest of the league should quit.
Well, what they did was somebody he was familiar with. He didn't have to learn to grow somebody, or he didn't have to learn. What is it? He didn't have to grow to learn them. What he had to do, adjust to him. He already knew what they were like. So if he was going to throw the ball there, he knew Gronkowski was there. If Brown was there, he knew he was going to be there. If the linemen that he had, he knew how they were going to react because they brought 2 linemen in
but in
from New England.
Completely different open style offense.
No, he brought no.
He switched it around once they got their eyes beat out against the Saints.
But he brought most of his stuff that he had in New England that Tom Brady, that Bill Belichick. I mean, you can look it up. Bill Belichick wouldn't let him run. He even said it, and he would run him in practice, so everybody knew what was going on. That
thing was sinking until they got their brains beat out against the Saints, and then and then Arians said, "Okay, well, obviously, Tom Brady, you know more than I do about football, so you want to play action. Go ahead." Rob Gronkowski, you can go back and look. He never showed up all season long till the Super Bowl. Like he didn't have show me a game where Gronkowski was dominant like he did in the Super Bowl. None.
No, there was other. He's had other Super Bowls.
I'm talking about last season.
Last season. No, he didn't even show up.
No, Antonio Brown.
He was hurt during half of the season.
Like it took Antonio Brown, and which rightfully so, it took him several weeks to get football ready. That team had a good defense, young defense, and they gelled toward the end. But I think Tom Brady brought a sense of how to win to a team that, I mean, they hadn't been in the playoffs since like 2007.
True.
I mean, they were the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, they haven't been anywhere.
I think he could go to the Lions and make them. I think it's the greatest Super Bowl win in the history of football because of no offseason, a quarterback that's 5 minutes away from being 50 years old.
Yeah, but I think you're giving
a coach that's 80 years old that's never won anything.
I think you're giving way too much credit to Brady.
Really?
I really do. That's just me.
Which Super Bowl? The 6, 7?
That one, the one he just did. There's too much credit there.
Didn't even need a
everybody's
kicker.
wondering if it was Belichick or him.
They had to
he
wonder.
proved that he could actually go win, but what he also did was he showed that he had to bring some people with him that he was familiar with. Honestly, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. It made them win. That's what made them win. Plus, they bought all their defense. Their defense.
And
I mean, let me tell you something. They re-signed everybody back,
They're
and
dangerous.
most of them have taken a cut just to be there.
Yeah.
But anyway, this wasn't even on our list. To
No,
talk
it wasn't.
about.
But let me finish this up. Nobody's talking about it because they hate on Brady. He goes and beats the MVP, Aaron Rodgers, in his house. And then he didn't ham and egg it against, Buffalo or somebody. The one everybody calls the GOAT that I don't think is as good as everybody. Patrick Mahomes goes in there.
Yeah, I think he's a fluke.
Patrick, the reigning Super Bowl champions, he goes in there and absolutely destroys them.
Yeah.
Like, he don't just beat them.
Well,
He don't need Adam
it's
Vinatieri to
just-
kick a field goal. Like, they killed them.
I know that, but what you're saying is, okay, let's put it like this. You're saying Tom Brady did that. Do you know why Mahomes didn't do anything? It wasn't because Tom Brady was on the field passing. It was about the defensive line that actually kept him contained because the offensive line could not handle that defense that they bought and paid for. So
A lot of those guys were already there. We can look it up, but a lot of those guys were there. They drafted a lot of those
the
defensive
guy from
guys.
Miami, the guy from Miami,
Levante David, all those
No,
guys
what's his name?
are homegrowns.
somebody let me
happens
know
when
what
you-
that defensive lineman that was in Miami. He was getting penalized because he was kicking people and hitting
They
people.
give him
Sue?
Ndamukong Suh. They brought
But
him
he
in.
wasn't.
And he was
but it was those young linebackers and those corners that did all the work.
Well, I can tell one thing. You got blinders on, and we're going to move on.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead, Jimmy. Let's move on.
Jimmy, let's get off of Tom Brady and his 7th Super Bowl ring.
What?
Sorry.
I guess that Jimmy is not the GOAT. So,
Jimmy
Who
is
said-
not the
no,
GOAT
Jimmy
of
never
hooking
claimed
and
to
setting
be.
us up.
well, we're trying to.
Sid said that he's with Jared on this.
Well, it doesn't matter what
Thank
he's
you,
with.
Sid. I appreciate that. I
We
don't blame
care
you.
what
Sid's
he's
smart.
with.
Obviously.
He is not. He's got a Tampa. He lives in the Florida Keys, and he's got a Tampa. You know why he put the Tampa tag on his car? So it matched. I mean, it wasn't because it was
So he
Tampa.
color-coded.
So he color-coded the tag on the front of his car. Come on, man.
Oh, we're
All
live
right,
at
now-
Mama June's, by the way. Or Mama, I'm sorry.
See,
that's
there
Thursday.
you go. I do it all the time,
He did,
too.
he did.
JoJo's.
It's JoJo's.
JoJo's.
And you know what? As he said that, the owner's walking right by, and she glared at him and said,
She's mean mugging.
Get
She-
it right. Get it
She
right.
almost still potato that. That's
all right, Jimmy, what's next?
Hey, what about Cameron Kinley, a rookie cornerback, has requested to delay his Navy commission to play in the NFL for Tampa Bay and has been denied by the Navy.
You want to take it or you want me to?
I think Tom Brady can call the president and get that overturned.
No, he can't because Trump's not in office anymore.
I'll tell you what. Well, maybe I'm not going to get
All
started.
right, he can't say it.
So this is what I think when you sign up for armed forces, no matter what job comes calling, that's the one that you do. No matter if it's professional sports or not. If that's what you have signed up to do, which is to me the greatest honor you can do in your country, you got to go do it. And if the NFL can wait, it can wait. If it can't, then that's just.
And I mean, I totally can understand coming from a military family. I mean, my grandfather and my brothers and myself, and I mean, I can understand that concept. But I can also understand the concept of these kids go into the Navy. I mean, go into the Naval Academy. They go into West Point. They go to Annapolis. All this, and all the other entities, except for the Navy, is saying, "Oh, it's okay, it's fine, go do it." In the last 20 years, nobody has been denied the opportunity to play ball. What they've done is they've actually deferred their enlistment till after they finished their career, so they would in turn then go into the military after their career's over. Usually it's between 27 and 30.
I was going to say the average NFL lifespan is 3 years unless you're Tom Brady.
Well, so yeah, so what you're looking at is you're denying him an opportunity to make that money. So I'm kind of torn on it, but I'm looking at the aspect, why do the other schools not have a problem with it, but all of a sudden the Navy has a problem with it? I think that honestly, I think somebody above that school or that I think the Admiral of the Navy needs to get involved. That's just how I'm looking at it.
Well, we've had Valdosta's own Todd Peterson was in the Navy.
Right.
And got out of the Navy and went and played in the NFL.
Well, look at what Tillman did. Tillman was playing for the Cardinals and left because of 9/11. Left and thought it was his duty to go do it, and he
But he
passed
quit
away.
his job to go do.
Yeah, he quit his job to go do it. But
right.
that's totally different than what we're
That
talking
is
about.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, so because he can go make some money playing professional sports, it's okay to get a pass on your commitment to the armed services. What if let's just say, because this could happen, let's just say I got a rap album that's about to drop, and I don't want to go in the military because that thing's fixing to be popping, and I'm going on tour. Can I get a waiver?
Has there been precedent set that you could get a waiver? There's been precedent set. There's been precedent set that it has done, that they have come out and been able to go do what they needed to do. They've already said, if once you set the precedent, you can't complete. Well, you can because they're doing it, but you shouldn't be able just to revoke it at that point when you've allowed other people to do it. I think he's got a pretty good standing. I don't want to say lawsuit because I don't think that it should have to come down to that. If worse comes to worse, I think he needs to do what he needs to do when it comes to the military. But if he's afforded that opportunity, now he did not go in the draft. He was actually signed after the draft. So,
NFL draft or the draft of the military?
Well, that was the last draft. Was when? It wasn't anytime soon, or in the past. But anyway, my whole point is, when the draft happened, he didn't get drafted. If he was drafted in the draft, would they have let him do it rather than being signed after the draft? So you could continue that cycle all the time. So I can understand that. And
I don't think any branch of the military should make waiver for once you sign on. Now listen, he can go in there and slap Sergeant Slaughter and get a DD and go play ball.
Okay, right here it says in 2019, then Secretary of Defense Mark Esper signed a memo under the direction of former President Donald Trump to open the door for athletes at the service academies to delay active duty military service to play pro sports.
And that's
after they graduate.
And that's Donald Trump.
He's got small hands. So I heard.
Oh no, you know for a fact. But anyway, but that's my point. So there's also must have been an executive order.
I guess.
So I think all those executive orders, I think Biden's ripped them up. But anyway,
because he wrote his own 67.
Well, yeah, every time somebody gets in there, they do. But we don't do politics
That's
on
right.
this show.
I just don't agree with it. Period. No matter what, I think if you sign on to do that, there shouldn't be a job, my job, your job, whatever, that they say, okay, well, you can go in the military unless you're going to go do this, and then you can come back.
But that's what I'm saying. There's already there, but there's been precedent set. There's an order. I can't see. What are you pointing at?
Sid said Roger Staubach attended Naval Academy when he won the '63 Heisman Trophy, and after graduation he served in the Navy, including a tour of duty in Vietnam.
And he did several years, right? I don't think he came in the league till he was in his
No,
late
he was
20s.
Late 20s.
Yeah, and
I'm just telling you what Sid said.
Sid.
I like
go
Sid,
back
whoever
to. I know
Sid
you do.
Sid and Nancy. Is Nancy there, Sid?
He is totally on your wagon, isn't he? You might as well pull right behind you, and he'd be waving in a parade for you. Anyway, well, and Sid, I understand where you're coming from, but you also, if you're going to throw those facts out, you need to look at the other facts. And I mean, I guess that's my job. That's why we got Jimmy sitting back there.
So let's do the
Rocky
sports
Bleier.
part of it.
Rocky Bleier.
Let's do the sports part of it. Is the guy any good? He didn't get drafted.
He
does it really matter? What if he doesn't make the team? Then he can just go right on in the military, right?
Well, exactly. If he doesn't make the team, then so why don't they delay it so he can see that?
Why don't they sign Tim Tebow?
They already did. Jacksonville has Tim Tebow. You don't want to get me started on that.
Then you can just leave there and go to Mayport or whatever.
Yeah, he just walk right off onto the boat.
Tim Tebow,
he could be like Dion, score a touchdown during the day and then watch baseball at night.
And then go work on an aircraft carrier.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. I think he'd be a pilot. I don't think he'd be an aircraft carrier mechanic. But anyway, Jimmy, what we got coming up next? Let's change it up.
Okay, Ravens are signing former Denver Broncos offensive tackle Juwan James, who tore his Achilles tendon in April, to a 2-year deal worth up to $9 million. $500 of it in guaranteed money.
He's getting $500 in guaranteed money, and he's got a torn Achilles.
That's how bad they must be hurt.
They must be hurt.
But he
worse
can't
than
even
was
play.
hurt.
But he can't even play. They're going to sign him to a deal and guarantee the money.
Well, I'll tell you, I signed for $500,000 with my knees.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take that 1 year.
Yeah,
deal.
no kidding.
There's a lot of guys that, I mean, they get that kind of stuff, and he may make the team. If not, they're out of $500,000. But that's
How's he going to make the
change to them
But see,
anymore.
so he's guaranteed that money, so you know he's going to make the team. If not, they've got to pay it to him anyway. So why are you going to waste money? So he's making the team with a torn Achilles. What's
They
next,
must
Jimmy?
see something in him.
Something in him or out of
Well,
him.
they're saying that let's see, he was released in May after he suffered the season-ending injury while working out away from the team's facility.
So
So
he
it
just
did-
done it. He's not even coming back to
Yeah.
play this year.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
no.
That's what I'm saying. So
He must really like it.
and he didn't even do
That's
it
a
while
1
he
year.
was working. While he was working out, he did it away from the facility, off. Let's just say off duty.
That's a
And-
1 year. I'm pretty sure it's
But
a
he
full
has
year.
filed a grievance in an attempt to recoup approximately $15 million in lost wages from the Broncos.
Wasn't it? Was it Garrison Hurst or somebody from that was a Georgia Bulldog running back that broke his leg playing volleyball or something 1 year? Do you remember that?
Yep.
Yeah. It wasn't Hurst. It was was it? No.
Hurst. It was
my
one of the other
gosh,
guys
I
in that
can't
same
remember
time
his name.
frame, though. Yeah. But yeah, crazy things happen.
All right.
And he opted out of last year because of coronavirus concerns.
Well,
Yeah,
see,
but the opt out, but that go. We talking about that with the high school and with all these other with the college teams. The opting out part, you give them that option, they sit out. You can't hold them against it, and that may be
No.
where he tore his Achilles.
Your next is Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Where
I
we
mean,
at?
what
Where is
about
he at?
you're
Are they
nowhere.
still in their
He's
stands
completely sitting out. He's not showing up to mini camps. He's not doing anything. He's not going to play. I try to tell you guys that he's not playing.
He's playing.
He's not playing.
So-
if it comes down to it, he is not going to play. He said.
So, my opinion, here we go. 38 years old, just won the MVP. Doesn't need camps, in my opinion. He is making a statement. They're in a sword fight, so to speak. He will eventually show up to play, or they may eventually trade him. I think they'll listen, but their price tag is going to be really high, obviously. And where would he go? The Raiders, maybe? I think we talked
Denver.
about that
No.
before.
The big thing is Denver.
I'd trade him to Detroit.
No, Detroit just picked up.
But he's
the
in, that's in their,
from
divi- that's in
LA
their
from
division.
LA.
Then they got, they went through that with Favre. We talked
Yeah,
about that.
yeah, they did.
Probably not. And Aaron
Yeah,
Rodgers.
but I don't think he could even make Detroit a winner.
I don't know anybody's.
But I don't understand in sports or any job if somebody wants to quit or disgruntle or whatever, and they drafted the Love kid, second round, whatever. We talked about it. They must have saw something in him, and all Rodgers went out and did was, oh, by the way, win the MVP. So he shoved that down their throat. If he wants out, get what you can get for him, and move on. Get your pieces together. He is 38. He's not going to play forever. I don't think he's got 5 more years like
No.
Brady.
But Sid
no way.
says 73% of them return to the NFL after an Achilles tendon repair. And what is I want to be a Jeopardy host?
Oh yeah, Aaron Rodgers. He
Yeah.
wants to be the Jeopardy host.
And he'll probably get it at some
No,
point.
he won't. I'm gonna tell you the 2 top runners right now
Wayne
for
Brady.
the Jeopardy host.
Everybody loves Wayne.
No, is Ken, and then the lady that's on tonight from what's
Yeah.
that woman's name from?
But I could go with Aaron
Kenny
because the ladies like Aaron.
It's not. I'm telling you right now, that's
They
not
don't
gonna
like
happen.
Ken,
It's
they
not-
like Aaron.
Charles
No.
Barkley could do it.
Ken is actually
Charles
leading
Barkley says
is
stupid
leading the
What is
Vegas
it?
odds in it.
Huh?
Ken's leading the Vegas odds, and I just spit all
Who's
over
Ken?
that. But
The guy that won
the
a
guy
bunch
that
of
Ken
won,
won
and
all
he
the
actually
money.
is on another show right now. He's doing another show
Yeah.
too about trivia. Anyway, how do we say it? You keep directing us to different
Get
directions.
Bob Barker
Hey,
to fill in. He's
all
only
I know,
96.
all I know is it must be nice to be an NFL owner because you get free Bentleys.
Oh, go ahead, Kraft. That is absolutely
He
absurd.
got a free for his 80th birthday. He got a free Bentley.
From his celebrity friends that include Jay-Z and Philadelphia 76ers owner Michael Rubin.
I thought maybe he got it for, you know how you had the Subway card, if you buy so many subs you get one free. Maybe he bought enough of those chicks down in West Palm Beach Bentleys that he get the 10th one for
Hey,
free.
that's around
Absolutely.
your area, wasn't it, Roger?
No, let's see now. Sid's been up that way. Let's ask him. I don't
Come on,
see no
Sid.
remarks up
Are
that
you
way.
hanging
on,
with the
Sid.
Bentley?
You own the Bentley
Does
crew.
it really, I mean, the guy could buy as many of those as he wants to. I mean, I don't.
No,
Jay-Z
but
is
I
a
don't
billionaire.
understand
Is
it.
that I'd be mad if My billionaire friend bought
me a Bentley that I could have bought for myself.
Like, buy me an island. You know what I mean? Impress me.
Well, he has that too. That's what I don't understand. I mean, why do you have to buy him anything? Why does JC feel it is his right to go buy something for him? I mean,
Because
give him
he has worked with Michael Rubin, the 76ers owner,
right.
Meek Mill, and Jay-Z on the creation of Reform Alliance and that organization that aims to
And Jay-Z is
transform probation and parolee since its launch in 2019.
And Jay-Z is a partial owner with the Nets, right? Is
Yes.
that right? Okay.
Yeah.
But that's my whole point.
sports
They're
owners.
all sports guys. But why would you give Robert Kraft the premier sports guy? He owns the premier team, or used to be the premier team. And, I mean,
Until Brady went
down there, and then it just all went to hell in a handbasket. And it went to the basket
Got
down
Cam
in Tampa.
Newton, though. He looks
Oh,
like
yeah,
he
he
could
did
chauffeur.
great. They
He
did
could
great
chauffeur a
with Cam.
Bentley the way he dresses. Like, he looks like a.
Oh, but you know what? Let's see. Let's
the Grey Poupon?
let's see who rides. Let's see who pulls up in that Bentley with the very first. You know, they always when the mandatory training starts, they always show up in different things. Like Deion Sanders was flown in, and somebody last year it was Brown had a Humvee or something, and one had a carriage or something.
The only thing I remember is on the movie Major League, whenever Willie Mays Hayes pulled up in that Volkswagen.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna do fake sports.
No, we got one more on the
I wonder
NFL.
what Simone Biles drives.
A goat. She rides a goat.
She rides a goat.
One last thing for the NFL, according to the notes, is Julio.
Hey,
He is gone.
Was that not one of the spots I said?
I actually
week?
was talking to somebody on the phone yesterday, and I said I'm not going to live this one down because that's exactly where Jared said that they were going to go.
I thought maybe the Rams would pull the trigger on it because they're money spenders.
Evidently,
And then
nobody was going to, though.
And then I said the Titans would benefit from him. I think with Derrick Henry running the ball, Julio doesn't have to catch 100 balls, and I don't think he's gonna. Atlanta got a good return on value. A second and a fifth's pretty good for a 32-year-old receiver.
Yeah.
Dump that salary. He makes Tennessee third, I think, maybe even second. Buffalo could be a fluke. I think Kansas City's one, and I think that pushes Tennessee. And Mike Vrabel, I think, still the coach there. I think that pushes them to 2 or 3.
Did you play football in high school?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got some head injuries. So anyway, I mean, let's listen to this. You're telling me just because of one player went to Tennessee, they could be like the number 3 best team in the league this year because of one player?
All right, here's my reason.
I'm listening.
Okay. They got a running back that runs for 200 yards a game.
Mm-hmm.
Without any receiving help, they stack the box.
Oh, but you still
against
got
him.
A.J. Brown there, and he's not.
He's A.J. Brown. He's not Julio Jones.
But that's
But with Julio Jones, look at what
it opens the passing
Mohamed
game
Sanu
up.
and them did.
if you had a quarterback. You've got Tannehill. He's proven he couldn't do anything anywhere.
When I said something about Tannehill, you took up for him a couple
when
weeks
was that?
ago.
We ain't
got to go back.
I was going to say you need to replay that.
We need you to go back and
Tannehill's
review
dating
the
Simone
shows.
Biles right now. I don't know if y'all know
It
that.
has to be because he's supposedly the GOAT too, right?
But no, I think Tannehill resurrected his career in Tennessee. They're not.
How did he
playing
resurrect
horrible
his? How did he
because
resurrect?
was
He didn't
almost
do
out of the
anything
league.
last year.
They went to the playoffs both years he was the starter. When he ousted Mariota out of the job, they went. I think they went to the AFC Championship game 2 years ago.
No, I don't think so.
Yes.
Because that was look that Jimmy, look that.
I'm pretty sure that
Let's see if
Tennessee-
he's right again.
And I think Tennessee had the lead against Mahomes and his magic trick of underarm throws that everybody's just amazed at. Tennessee went far into the playoffs 2 years ago with Tannehill at the quarterback position.
Last year, he threw for 3,800 yards, 33 touchdowns, and only 7 interceptions.
I mean,
what else do you want from a guy? What about the year before that?
well,
when he took
evidently
over?
you want from Jimmy. He wants the Hall of Famer to come out with 5,000 yards every year. So
But
I
what
mean,
I'm getting at, I think Julio opens up their. They can't stack the box. They can with A.J. Brown. They cannot stack the box to tackle Derrick Henry, who's already getting 200 yards a game, when he can go up top. Now, do I think Ryan Tannehill is a great quarterback? Absolutely no. But Julio makes
so
him
what you're
better.
saying, he's good enough to get them to the Super Bowl. That's what you're
Yes.
saying. Tannehill,
With that
who
team?
hasn't been able to do it with any other team or any team prior to right now, you think just because they got Julio Jones, that makes him a better quarterback?
I think it makes them better than anybody they'll play in the AFC other than maybe Kansas City.
How do you know? Because you've got a team like, let's just use Jacksonville. You don't even know what their team's going to do this year.
Okay. I'm glad you said that.
Let's talk about it. Because let's face it.
Have you ever?
You can and Buffalo. Let's look at Buffalo and their
Well,
record last year.
No.
We're looking.
You can't go from the 1-15 team to the
15-1 team. Yeah, I can. I just did.
When have you ever seen a 1-15 team who drafts a quarterback number 1 overall come out and do much better than what they were the year before?
How about a 4-15 team that recruited a quarterback and won the Super Bowl?
Jog my memory. I'm not that old.
Tampa Bay.
When?
The year before last, what was
They
their
were
record?
7-9.
Okay, 7-9, a losing record. They weren't even 500.
But you just said 30 minutes ago that he brought the entire New England staff with him.
He did. That's what I'm getting at. But see, you can't intermix the two
Jacksonville-
conversations.
but-
You asked me a question. I gave
Okay.
you an answer. My answer
So who's
is
Trevor Lawrence bringing with him? The whole Clemson Tiger team?
no. But he's look who they're stacking around him right now. Clark. They're saying that Clark is supposed to be one of the premier receivers. Urban Meyer just said he was not at his potential last year because he was underweight and he didn't have enough muscle. So he's gained 7 pounds of plain muscle to make him a better
7 whole
quarterback.
pounds.
Okay, how many pounds of muscles have you put on?
Well, that
not talking
potato
about,
wedges
we're not talking about the potatoes. But that's what I'm getting at is we don't know.
Right.
You start talking
I
about
just-
Jacksonville, you want to downgrade them, but there's no.
Well, I'm not
You
downgrading.
can't prove
Let
anything.
me circle back real quick when I got pulled up. 2 years ago in 2019, they played. Turn it. Now you go fast on me. They played Kansas City in the conference championship.
So they're not far off from being. I mean, they were already the second best team.
No, that
in
was
the
20.
conference.
That was 2020. In 2019,
They were Mariota's team.
they played Kansas City in the conference championship.
What was the record?
And why you want to ask me that?
Well,
Because
so-
that's what we're talking. We're
So-
talking about the record itself. Because let's do the AFC South for example. That record in itself in the South is at the bottom of
Suspect.
everybody else's records. Let's face it.
Yeah. I mean,
You
and
go
that's
to
what I'm
the
telling you
NFC,
about.
Everybody else's record is what 12 and 2 and 3 and 4 and you get over here where our best guy is 7 and 9.
But what I'm saying about Tennessee is, so you're in the AFC South, so you got to play Jacksonville twice. Indianapolis with Carson Wentz may or may not can stay healthy. Houston is imploding with Deshaun Watson may not be there. Who else is it? That's it. And Tennessee. So you've got a possibility of 6 wins right there in your conference, in your division, which could happen. Split a few from other guys. They're sitting there.
Okay.
They're sitting there at 12 and 5.
Let's do this.
And they're hosting a playoff game. And listen, defense and running game wins in December. Who's a better running back than Derrick Henry right now?
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's put a 100 spot on it. You want to?
On what? On one team?
Yeah.
Only if you'll put that the Jaguars go just as far as they do.
I will. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying the Jaguars go as far as Tennessee does.
Who has the better record?
That's what I'm saying. You're saying Tennessee will.
Who
I'm
has a
saying
better record than
Yeah, you're saying
Jacksonville?
Tennessee will have a better record than Jacksonville. I'm saying Jacksonville have a better record than Tennessee. It's a 100 spot. It's right here. What show is this?
Okay, now.
Wait.
and
What show is this? 12, 13, 14?
13.
This is show 13. We're going to go back and rewind this after the second to last game because we played Tennessee second to last. Okay? All right, go ahead.
So 2019, Tennessee was 9-7 in Tannehill's first year. In year 2, 2020, they went 11-5.
And 2 years straight, they went to the AFC Championship game.
Yep.
And then last year they went
Without receivers.
to the. That's what I'm getting at.
Oh, they did have receivers. They had the other receiver that's
Yeah.
already there.
They had
What's his name?
Jackson
AJ.
Brown.
Yeah, they had AJ.
AJ was last year. I think that was.
But he was here last year. I mean, they had him last year. All they added this year, pretty much. Well, they added their draft picks, but
But
then
the
you also
thing,
look at
it's not
Julio.
as much as if Julio stays busy or stays healthy. It's going to be as much the teams that are going to target him and leave the other stuff open. It's not the fact that I don't expect Julio to go there and have 1,800 yards.
And they don't
It's
stack
the attention
box.
they're going to give him, just like with your boy down in Jacksonville, Tebow. The attention he's going to get
Well,
is
they're
going to
gonna
open
cover
it up for somebody if he makes the team.
Right. He's going to make the team, and they're going to have to double cover him. I heard that. So,
I thought they just leave him open and just,
Just
yeah,
see if he
I
can
tell you
catch.
what, I hope they do just leave him open.
Wait a minute, this just in. The Jaguars just signed Darryl Strawberry because they needed another mid.
No, you're going totally opposite. Because Tim Tebow is.
I do think he'll make it.
He's a Christian, and you're going Darryl Strawberry is what
Well, he's
cocaine
going to
addict.
help
So,
him. I mean, he's
Yeah,
going to
he's
help him.
Daryl would help him.
but he was.
Oh, Tebow.
Yeah,
I do think he'll make the team. We talked about that.
yeah, and it's
I mean, he helped Hernandez.
no, he didn't help Hernandez. Urban Meyer did, but you put those two back together. Now, if Hernandez was alive, they could have a bunch of murders over in Jacksonville.
They still do. Okay, next. Eli Lingos experiences every pitcher's nightmare Sunday afternoon
Wow.
as he was struck on the left side of his head by a line drive off the bat of Erie Seawolves, Drew Ward.
Yeah, so he's struck by the pitch, it hits him in the head, he falls over and seizes on the field.
LeBron would still
That-
be down just
Yeah,
south.
well, no, just if the wind went right by LeBron, he'd fall. But he fell on the mound. They took him to the hospital. He's good. He's up and moving around as of, I believe it was yesterday. But can you imagine that? That's my biggest nightmare on a picture.
But you know what? How does that not happen more often? I mean, thankfully it doesn't. But I mean, that thing. Baseball's coming at you, and these guys. I mean, that's.
You
I'm
imagine
waiting for him to wear the helmets like
Like softball.
college
Like softball
softball.
does.
Which, by the way, Florida State's playing at 7:30.
Yeah, they
tonight
should.
for
Yeah,
the
they should be
national
coming on in a little
championship.
bit.
Yeah, I would.
Atlanta
you
is
would,
So we
too.
got to hurry so I can get to that.
you would think that that would happen more often, just because of the amount of ball it's scary, dangerous, man.
Well, it's like Tracy when Tracy plays softball. That's Mama T for those of you. She plays softball, and the story I hear the most is when she caught a ball in her glove, and the glove forced back into her face, broke her nose and her cheek.
Yeah, I could see that.
You're right. How does it not happen? The ball is traveling sometimes up to 95 to 105 miles an hour, hits that bat and goes in reverse the same speed.
If
Yeah,
not
it's
faster.
amazing.
Yeah, if not faster. Yeah, it's
which-
amazing.
Which we talked about sticking with baseball. The batting average batting average for the major leagues is 230 right now.
Yeah, it's right between 230 and what did we say it was? 230 or 235, something like that. Yeah,
Which is down, and they're complaining now they want to lower the mound again.
they're gonna be throwing grenades out of this before it's
I mean,
over
just
with.
underhand it?
Because they're going. But see, what was it? 2 years ago they lowered the mound, and actually the batting averages came up and the pitching averages went down. Now they're saying the pitchers are too good, so they need to lower the mound some more.
You know how you fix it?
How you fix it?
Let the guys use steroids.
Well, and
I mean,
McGuire and Sosa say the same thing, and Bonds, but
Bonds never got. I mean,
he never got. They said he never did, but
He
there's
never-
an asterisk beside
Come
his
on,
name.
his head got as big as mine.
So did his arms. Your
So,
head. that is.
I mean,
Yeah.
he took it. He ain't got to say he took it or whether he didn't.
everybody
I mean,
else has admitted
everybody
to it.
knows.
He's the only one
I
that
think
wants to hold back.
some of them hadn't. Roger Clemens said he didn't either.
I think he finally did come out.
Did he?
I think he finally did come out and say he did use some,
Well,
but
I'm
it
gonna
wasn't.
come out for him and say.
But it wasn't the type that they banned, but he did use some. I mean,
And I know we talked about it briefly the other day. I mean, sports is entertainment. I want to be entertained. If you're okay with using, I don't want to do them. I'm scared for my
If you
health.
want to use them and you're an adult, then
If it
I
helps,
think
okay.
you
So let
should
me
have
ask you
that
this.
right.
Let me ask you this question. All right, this is a serious
Yes.
question, and I'll tell you why after you answer it. Could being that back in the day, this high schools are actually doing it now. Back in the day, high schools did not test for performance-enhancing drugs. Do you think it's right if the parent consents for that child to actually take those performance-enhancing drugs?
no. I don't think anybody
Not-
under
not
the
at
age
that
of
age.
18 should.
not a amateur high school. amateur or not little league, but the minor league baseball. Yeah. Okay.
Well, yeah, minor league, they're out of school.
If you're in high school, no, that should be the cutoff.
But if your parents are giving the consent,
no.
If their parents are saying it's my child and I can do what I want to,
Only because
with
of
that
the
child.
harmful effects of it, not because of the makes them better than other high schoolers. They're harmful effects of it. And parents probably would do that. There's a lot of parents that hold their kid back 2 or 3 years.
Look at Todd
in school.
Marinovich. I mean, his dad wouldn't even let him even eat a Big Mac until high school. No, I think he was in college before he ate
I
one.
think and we talked about this off air before. The baseball has had the worst commissioner of all time. Bud Selig, I think it was.
Yeah.
Worst commissioner ever. Never tried to help his sport at all. Tried to turn it over with every kind of report you could think of. ESPN would stop what they were doing, even Simone Biles. If Barry Bonds come up to bat close to 7:55, stop what you're doing, watch it.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, you're
Okay,
right.
and then the guy can't get 20% of the vote and for the Hall of Fame. Baseball did a strike in '94, was doing no business. Bonds and Sosa got up there with their Arnold Schwarzenegger figures, saved baseball in 1998.
That was McGuire.
Yeah, I'm
and
sorry.
Sosa.
McGuire got up there and saved baseball, and they boo-boo face on those guys. Baseball to me is the one sport that it shouldn't be illegal in, because show me where steroids helps your hand-eye coordination. Show me.
Well, my thing is,
Well, there's not
if
studies
you're
where it
going-
improves too much of anything. They say it does, but
It may get your recovery
But
time.
if, but
and
if
stuff
you're
like
going
that.
to say, well, no, I'm not going to put him in because he used steroids, okay, we'll take Babe Ruth out of
That's right.
baseball.
How do you know? Because you don't know if he did them or not.
No, but it's proven he beat his wife.
But what's that got to do with this? You're talking
Well, they
because
wouldn't
it's
let- they
illegal.
wouldn't
Well,
let
it's the
one
same
in
Because
thing.
you're
I
saying
mean,
because it's illegal.
You're saying.
So you're saying Acuna's good to go to stay at the Braves then because he beat his wife.
No, he didn't beat his wife.
He choked his wife.
No, that wasn't Acuna.
I think what
Who
Jimmy's
was it?
saying is
Who was it?
That was I can't pronounce his name.
Ozuna.
Ozuna.
Not
Okay.
Acuna. So so what you're
Mizuno.
saying is he's okay to stay in baseball.
No, I think
No,
what he's
I'm,
saying is
I'm saying if you're going to say he can't go in because he took steroids and Pete Rose gambled, well, then Babe Ruth shouldn't be in because he beat his wife.
because Ozuna will never go in,
No.
and he done that. I get what you're saying. So
I understand it now.
that would take Babe Ruth out of it.
Oh, you
Along
thought I
with-
was saying he should stay?
Yeah, that's what I
No.
thought.
No. He's saying that a lot of those guys that did things that either got swept under the rug or weren't frowned upon quite as much back in those days.
Yeah. Who's going to tell the Babe you ain't going in?
Yeah, who's to say?
But he's the one that made baseball.
Who's the one to say in 50 years that everybody's not doing steroids? Then do you backtrack and put those guys in?
Well, that's it. You put him in with an asterisk. But okay, so let's talk about the PPD right now. Okay, the pitchers in the MLB. Right now, they are by the end of June, they will have in effect a new PPD guideline for pitchers because they're finding that they're putting tar behind their ears on their hats because the one guy got kicked out a week or so ago because he had tar on the under part of his hat. The next day, one of them had it behind his ear. So
It's like inmates. You can make up the rules all you want, but
did you just
they're
refer to
gonna
them as
find it.
inmates?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're finding ways
some
to
of
work
them
around
should
it.
be, but they're going to find
If you're not
exactly.
cheating,
They're
you're
going to
not
find a way
trying.
around it.
There's-
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
a-
you can go out there to the prison, and if your truck's stuck, you get one of them inmates. He'll have you a rope out of toilet paper real quick,
Look
and
at-
he'll pull the truck out.
Look at any sport, the slither of difference there is in the athletes. So any advantage you can get, I see it. NFL, for example, that field is, look how wide it is.
Mm-hmm.
How many toe tap receptions do you see a game? I mean, they're right there, this far off the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how close the game is. Like, I'm only open here. You know, so I mean, yeah, I see the tar. It probably happens more often than not. I mean, I see those things.
But that's why they're putting new rules in because they feel that it's been laxed on the pitchers and everybody else, like tar on the bat and everything else.
You know, and I said this again, Bud Selig helped kill baseball more than anybody because he kept continually trying to dig up stuff on his stars.
Oh yeah,
Roger Clemens, Barry Bonds, Mark McGuire. He would have these reports done by the federal government. David Stern would tell Michael Jordan, listen, I know you bet $65 gajillion on golf. We won't say nothing. Go play baseball, come back. Like, do you not think that to me, he was saving his game, right or wrong, whatever. And you can say integrity. You live in a world that has zero.
Well, then we'll circle back to Tom Brady and Deflategate.
And listen,
but you're talking about that, and it reminds me of that movie, The Program. Did you watch it with James Caan? It's based on a college, and the linebacker, it's his first year starting. He's a senior, and he blooms during the off season. They talk about how much weight he put on and how much he's lifting, and it was because he was injecting himself. And when James Caan told him get off of it, he got off of it during a pivotal game, and he went to jump over the top to hit the running back, and he busted him. Yeah. And after the game, he went back on the steroids because they lost the game because he wasn't on the PPDs anymore.
So I think it actually needs to be looked at, and if you're going to do it, I think it needs to be controlled. But how do you control it, like you say? Because you people push to that line and then just step over that line and say, "Well, you said da 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 da," and then they'll keep pushing in that line and just keep.
But now, isn't there an
legal?
approved list of PPDs they can use?
I don't know if you call them PPDs, but there's a approved list of things that they can take to not enhance their performance, but to help their, what do you call it, their
recovery time?
Yeah, recovery time.
So sports is entertainment. That's mainly what it is.
Yes.
Rambo wasn't played by Chris Farley.
No. And
could you imagine if it was? Would you want to see Chris Farley with no shirt on, shooting arrows at
you
the
did whenever you
that
seen
would be
some of his
funny
other
now.
money.
Yeah,
That would be
yeah.
funny now.
I mean, no.
But it's the
Lawrence
same thing.
Taylor snorted a line of coke the length of this table and then went and played football. Do you not think that the high he was on helped
Didn't play a part?
Yeah, I mean, he was 150 miles an hour all
the
game
time.
long. Hall of Famer should have been, but that's no different than a PPD. I mean, what's the difference?
I mean, but see, there's the thing is, he
PPD,
got away with it. And I'm going to say, tell you this, there is so many people out there that actually use that you wouldn't think, but back in those days, it really wasn't a big deal because nobody knew what it actually would do to you at that point.
Well,
it
back
wasn't
when
illegal.
Coke was made, they had Coke actually in it too. So
Yeah,
what you're saying is valid.
That's
what you're
I'm
saying is
getting
if Lyle Alzado was any good,
yeah.
Okay, moving on, talking about GOATs. Other than the Hawks winning the other night and playing tonight.
they hadn't played yet,
they're
right?
playing
Yeah,
right now.
they played the other night, won the first game.
Yeah,
Hope
but
you
they're coming
enjoyed
up-
that series
and-
win.
They're coming up tonight. They're actually playing. They're actually already started.
Which they're
The next thing is your GOAT, LeBron James, walking off the court.
Okay, that was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. When in a loss, he actually walked off the court. He didn't turn around. There was 5 minutes to go in the game. He just walked off and left and went into the locker room.
Could you play with him again if you was his
They
teammate?
did. They turned around and played the next
gonna be a good
game
one
with
for
him,
me,
and it's
too.
the one he lost.
Well, they had to because they're under contract.
I think what has happened is basketball has allowed these guys to do that. Basketball has to get a grip on people like that. He's moving his chair. He's getting ready for this. He doesn't. He doesn't stay
It's
stuff
too
on
late
him.
to start on him
But
now.
but what I'm getting at, but you've got to lock that down. You let those attitudes. What's happening is LeBron James right now, he can flop without anybody touching him, and they call a foul.
Do you think they're going to say anything to a guy that can go on Twitter and say you're next to a cop because he did his job? But
he did. I got to give him credit. He did go take it down, but he said it. And my whole point is,
But your
why
feelings
did
is
you
gone,
say
man.
it?
yeah,
Why did you say it? Yeah.
OJ threw the
If I
knife
come
away.
up there and punch you in the face and say I'm sorry, is
Yeah.
it okay?
Yeah,
OJ
exactly.
went back to the hotel room and threw the knife away and gave Kato Kalin his
Yeah.
gloves back. I'm sorry.
They didn't fit, so he had to quit.
So
But it wasn't just the fact he walked off. It was even afterwards he refused to shake hands with the
Right.
winners
Now-
or wait
yeah,
around
exactly.
for his own teammate.
Exactly.
now you're going to get ready for this one. Don't fall out of your seat.
Okay.
Not a LeBron fan. No, I'm not crazy about him. I'm cool with that.
Oh, dude, come on.
Here's why.
Turn around
'Cause
walking
you're the
and talking
entertainment
around
guy.
and leaving your
Not leaving your team, but I'm a competitor. I am. I don't want to lose. You beat me.
I don't want to lose either.
Wait.
That's
wait,
why
wait,
we
wait.
argue right
Wait,
here.
Wait, that's right. You beat me. I don't have to, like in the presidential thing, and I'm not getting political. If you win, I don't have to go and say, Roger beat me. You've seen it already. I don't have to concede. If he doesn't want to shake hands with the guys that just eliminated him, I'm cool with that. Don't expect him to do the same to you either, if that's what you want to do. I mean, not everybody's going to do that. But do you remember when the Pistons walked off the floor after the Bulls beat them finally? The Bulls spent like 3 or 4 years and couldn't get over the hump. They went in and they swept Detroit. I think it was the first year they won a championship. And Isaiah and Bill Laimbeer and the whole team walked off the court with like 40 seconds to go, walked right past the Bulls and left. I like it. Like, I like it. And they're still talking about it today. Like, it's
the controversy of it. But here's what I don't like is he is being paid a lot of money to play a game that's being looked at by children.
okay.
Like high school kids and middle school kids. So what does that do? That makes them, he's like Jordan, he's their idol.
Well, he has said
But
he gets paid too much money to not give his opinion.
it's not about giving your opinion, it's about walking off a court in the
But
sportsmanship.
that's sort of the sportsmanship is the opinion.
But that's not an opinion. When you're walking off of a
It is.
court,
It's saying
it's
to screw
poor
y'all.
sportsmanship
It's
is
saying
what it is.
screw y'all.
Exactly. It's poor sportsmanship.
I agree
And
with
if you're walking off a court and a teenage kid sees that, what's going to happen to him when he decides at 5 minutes left to go at the high school game? He walks into the gym and said, LeBron did it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think you can't be like he is, and then try to go to a boys club and try to tell them to be good sportsmen. But I think like Charles Barkley said one year, remember back when he was playing, I'm not a role model.
Yeah.
I'm a basketball player.
But they are role models, just like
Right,
you're a
but-
role
but-
model to those kids. If you wouldn't be signing autographs, you wouldn't be doing any of that stuff if you weren't that role model to those kids. So,
But I'm a competitor.
I understand it. But if you go get a beer right afterwards and you're standing in front of those kids that's signing an autograph and you're just chugging your beer and setting it down right in front of them, is that sportsman ethical for you to teach kids? Oh, it's okay to drink
Worked for
because
Stone Cold.
Sold a lot of shirts.
yeah,
Yeah.
he did sell a lot of
Jericho
shirts.
too.
But my serious who said Jericho? Come on. but seriously, I'm asking you that question
Okay, so
because
let me
you're in
ask
the
you
entertainment
this.
business.
So out of everything LeBron, and he's 17, 18 years into
18.
out of everything he's done, even recently, like I said with the Twitter thing about that guy's gonna get his. Do you think the thing people are gonna remember about him is he walked off the court with 5 minutes to go and didn't shake hands?
His haters will.
I think
They'll
some-
remember
I think
that.
some-
Yeah,
people
his
bring it.
haters, but I'm talking about the people that look up to him. It doesn't matter.
No.
And we live in a society, sorry to say it, that think that's cool, that's swag. He was busting, whatever they say. Like, he didn't want to shake his hand. He rolled out.
Yeah, he wrote it.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
See,
Like,
that's the problem. Is that what we're teaching? Is that what we want our kids to learn?
Yeah.
So you want
Well,
you want
no,
your
I'm
high
not
school
saying-
kid, you want your high school quarterback son to do that. And if he's in the middle of a football game, they're losing by 40 points. Just take his helmet, go into the Berrien County locker room, and say, "Forget it." Yo, wait, yo, let's roll out. I'm rolling out. I'm not winning.
What I'm saying is, if I'm a professional athlete getting paid to play a game, I probably don't care what anybody thinks. This is just me. I know it's the wrong way to think, but I'm getting my money. We got beat. I don't like it. I'm not sticking around. I'm through. Now, my coach can get on to me or the owner or fine me or whatever. I'm not saying what he did was right. I'm just saying he reserves the right to walk. To go.
Yeah, but
I don't think he has an obligation. If they pulled me out of the game and I'm not going back in, what if he faked an injury and you had no idea and he grabbed his Achilles and walked to the locker room with 5 minutes to go? We wouldn't be talking about it.
You're exactly right, because he would have displayed the attitude that he displayed in front of everybody for children and all alike to actually watch. Because what happened
He
was
claims to be a role
the
model.
camera-
I think he shouldn't have for
the
that.
The camera went straight to him. The camera watched him walk out and walk all the way into the tunnel. So you're supposed to be the GOAT in this sport.
But you're not.
Represent
But
yourself
I'm
as a GOAT.
I'm also thinking we as parents, we should.
If LeBron James is
we
raising
should be
your
the
kid,
role model, but
I
the
understand
proof is
that.
we ain't.
But
But you should point out, son, that ain't the way a role model
But
does
a
it.
lot of people don't have that role model, and that's where some of these problems come in. They don't have that father as a role model there to say that to them, so they sit there and they think it's okay. That's where the high school coach comes in, and your feed the Vikings people come in. That's where those people come in as role models, like us. We come in and do that.
So before he walked off the court, he was a role model. So if my kid gets poked in the eye, he's supposed to lay on the ground for 80 seconds?
No, but he's supposed to get
Okay, that's what LeBron did.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'm just wondering.
Exactly.
Like, I would hope, and like I
But
said.
see, you're playing both sides of the fence right here. What you've done is you said it's okay, and then you just turned around and said, no, it's not okay.
No.
So
I
you
think
can't
it's
play
okay.
both sides of the fence.
What I'm saying is, I'm with Jimmy on all these people are your role models. Parents, unfortunately, even if they are good parents, a lot of them are not role models. So yes, a lot of people look up to him.
Right.
A lot of kids, a lot of young guys. And it does show
And
bad
there's
sportsmanship
nothing
for them.
wrong with that.
There's not at all. And it does show bad sportsmanship, and it's not, if he takes himself seriously as a role model, as he claims he does, he shouldn't have done that.
Mm-hmm.
But Dennis Rodman would, somebody that he claims, I think it's because it's him. If Damon Stoudemire or I don't know,
Trey Young.
one of them guys had done it, it's
Well,
not quite as big of a deal because
Okay.
LeBron is a role model by default, and he has claimed to be one. So you're the spot. Michael Jordan, if you never got into politics, did you see the 30 for 30 on him where somebody wanted him to donate and do to it and go talk, and he was like, "Hey, every ethnicity buys Jordans." That was his right to be that way. So he never got into all that hoopla. LeBron chooses to. So yes, that 5 minutes he walked off mattered because he puts himself there.
Right.
Outside of basketball to say, hey, look at me. I'm the kid from Akron who wrote a 9-page letter about coming back and all that. Well, then he shouldn't have walked off. No, but do I think it's okay for a professional athlete to? Guys do it in the major leagues. You just don't see it because they go under the tunnel. Pitcher, he gets pulled from the game. He goes to the showers.
Well, I believe it
because
was
but
it
the
a few
problem is-
years ago? Was it Camden? There was a team. I want to say Lowndes played, and after the game, everybody went their separate ways. And
That
the
was
teams
Cockwood. That was Cockwood. That was Cockwood with Russ Probst.
Okay.
Maybe
Yes.
he didn't want to catch corona.
But
he just fist.
He knew it 5 years in advance, right?
I'm talking about
you're
no,
talking about
not. Yeah, LeBron might have.
Well, see, let's just, and I don't mean to cut you off there, Jimmy.
well, no.
but
What
you-
I was
you
going to
brought
say
in
was it was
Trae
the
Young.
state championship game, and they immediately left the field. Well, everybody give them heck for it, but at the same time, what they didn't say was both teams were told as soon as the game over, don't even shake. We've got to move on.
Because
so
they have
you
other
go your
games, yeah.
separate ways. So
But
I
I don't see somebody going to LeBron and say, you need to go in at 5 minutes and let's go your separate way. I don't think that's going to happen. But you mentioned Trae Young. Did you see what happened with Trae Young in the ball game the other night?
Which time?
No, it was during a timeout. Trae Young was leaving. He was walking from the opposite end of the court to his bench. One of the players from the other team walked up and actually hit him and shoulder punched him. Shoulder punched, and it turned him. He just looked and he walked off and didn't do anything about it. To me, he was moving past what they were doing because they were mad. But what happened was one of his teammates went up and did the exact same thing to the guy who did it to him, and then those two ended up getting double techs.
well, it's always the second person that
But
gets
no,
called.
but my whole point is Trae did not turn around and play into it because he knew it was the
because
aggravation.
he knew how valuable he was, and
Yeah.
he
But
was
that's
going
my
to show
thing.
them exactly what. All right, that we can do that.
Why, but that's how valuable LeBron is supposed to be to the Lakers.
I agree
Is he
with
not?
that. I
Supposed to
agree
be.
with that.
Exactly.
But-
All right, what's
but
the next topic?
If he is who he says he is, no, and this goes back. I don't want to go on Simone again, but the whole goat on her leotard really bothered me.
Yeah, we can tell.
People, I've
Nice
never heard
looking
Michael
leotard.
Jordan's having the greatest ball.
Huh?
People say it, but Michael Jordan has never said, "I, Captain."
No,
the greatest
even he
ball
has said LeBron is.
player." But I mean,
Oh, he's going to say that because the
yeah.
GOAT never says he's the GOAT.
exactly.
No, exactly.
But-
That's-
but LeBron says he
Oh, yeah, he says he is, and she has it on her leotard.
People
yeah.
want to be. People want to be. This generation want to be recognized as, "Look at me, I am the greatest." And like,
Okay,
That to me takes it away from you.
So you come to the show next week with your leotard with a goat on it.
I'll put a goat on.
Yeah, hey, I'm sick next week. I won't be here.
Yeah.
Okay, one
All right,
thing
we're-
I
yeah,
forgot in your notes.
This is it. I mean, we're going to have to roll because we've been on for quite a while.
USFL announces plans to return to spring in 2022.
Yes, that what they're deciding is that they're actually gonna give it another go with 9 teams. I think it's 8 or 9, 8 or 9 teams. My question is, do they actually succeed? Did they learn lessons from
The XFL.
the XFL? Did they learn lessons from their early exit from the football scene? Is it going to go? Are you going to have the NFL players coming and playing during their league, which is what they were doing with the XFL and the CFL? So, I mean, I think it's a good idea. You have football year-round. Do I think that they're going to succeed? I'm throwing that
I'll
out
tell
up in
you
the air
which
right
league I'm more excited about watching.
now. The lingerie football
No, it's
league.
the Legend Football League. They will be coming back next year also.
Okay.
And for those of you that don't know what the Legend Football League, no, it's not Jim Brown and them. It was
Yeah, I was
formerly
gonna say, I don't
called.
wanna see that
It was
game.
formerly called the Lingerie Football
Yeah,
League.
exactly.
And I'm gonna tell you, I don't know if some of the NFL players could take the hits.
Oh, some of them girls.
They'd be throwing. And then you
I
got
don't-
the girl that chugs the beer like Stone Cold.
I don't know if you guys ever watched Big Brother, but there's the lady that won in season 18, I think it was. She was actually a wide receiver for one of those teams, and she was a beast.
I don't think spring football works. Not long.
I don't think it does nationwide. I think it will in the South.
I don't know why. I mean, maybe it's because the talent level isn't there. I mean, for whatever reason, I just don't. Maybe if you got some of the NFL players that are really good to come play, but like
Well,
the
some of
talent
them
level,
probably do want to play in the lingerie. I mean, the Legends League.
the talent level's not there, which makes the game not quite as good.
50 Shades of Lingerie. There we go.
I just spring. Nobody has ever been able to make that.
I think it will in the South, but it's not going to up north. It's not going to out west.
Well,
It-
the
it's-
Bible Belt is not going to accept that. They're just not
the
going to do
lingerie
it.
league. No, the
Which one are we talking about?
The lingerie league.
the lingerie.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
the Legends League. It's not the lingerie league.
I don't
it's
care
the
what you
Legends
call
League.
it. It's always gonna be
I was
my-
talking about
Oh,
The
this is the
USFL?
first time he has stayed straight on a conversation because he didn't want to get into the lingerie part of it.
But
Okay.
I think it would work if you put it down here. I think it would work. Atlanta don't care about religion. Jacksonville,
Wait
I
a minute.
guarantee you,
How can you say that to the Southern Baptists? Come on, man.
because they'll be watching on Sunday while the wife's cooking. I'm promising you.
about which league?
The Legend
The
League.
the lingerie league, the L league.
I think it has to go on a certain channel like MTV or something.
Is his mic on?
I don't think that
No, it's not.
NBC.
We got a mic problem.
How about now? How about now? Nothing.
We're fixing to wrap it up,
We're
and
wrapping.
yeah,
Yeah,
his
now.
mic completely went gone.
How about now? Nothing.
No, ain't you ain't on at
I
all.
think I hear you off of his.
Yeah, you do.
Nothing.
Make sure the switch didn't
Say
cut
now.
off.
Talk now.
How about now?
Yeah,
Nothing.
he dropped.
All right. Well, he's dropped, so we're gonna drop. We just to keep going. Go ahead. I'll let you talk.
Just remember,
Now's the
Legends
wait,
Football League.
Now it's time for him to talk. Go ahead. Go ahead. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna see you next week because he's not gonna. He's just gonna keep stripping, and
Yeah,
we're
we got to go. I don't want to see
Wait,
that.
we're gonna censor this. Go ahead.
Better go because it's
It's going.
Boy,
It's
you're gonna
going.
need a
We-
lot bigger basketball.
That's coming from the sound guy.
We
Anyway.
are live at Mama. I started
we're
over
live
now.
at
This is all
JoJo.
Jared's fault. We are live at
JoJo's.
JoJo's
Potato
and Mac Shack on Baytree Road. Y'all come out every Tuesday, 6:30. You can come out on the back deck. She does have specials, and some of them include. Let me pull it up.
But
here real
they
quick.
must include what you had earlier because that was just, you can't talk. That was just awesome. See if they plug that in. Pull it out and plug it back in.
Some of
So-
your specials include from Tuesday from 6 to 8, $3 drafts, which does exclude the Georgia Beer Company, $4 wines. They have strawberry slushies, fruit punch, and peach mango slushies. And if you are senior, 65 and over, or active military or a first responder in uniform, you can get 15% off. So y'all come out to JoJo's on Baytree Road on Tuesdays. You can also catch us Thursdays at Mama June's. I can remember
You
that
guys
because
are
I'm
saying
there all
Mama
the
June's
time.
all night. Can we hear you now?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Yes.
Yes. Hey, I went a little bit different. Last week I had the tater tots loaded, or what do you
Right.
call them? Tater bombs.
Tater bombs. The
But
loaded
they looked
tater
at me
bombs.
like I was crazy because that's not on the menu. It's just something that Roger made up. I call them potato bombs, and the girl thought I was in there trying to rob.
Well, it was the
place.
first thing they had. They had that one of the first days
She
they
thought
opened.
you was already in the specials on the
Yeah.
menu.
Yeah. So, but I had the potato fries today with a sour cream, jalapeno, and I mean they'll make them any way you want. They've got a board up there, and once you get your fries or potato or tater tots, you just start on the list. They got chili, they got all kind of stuff you can put on it. I mean it's really creative. So
Cool. Well, we appreciate it, and we appreciate them letting us come out here. And again, we'll be at Mama June's. Actually, I think Jimmy and Jared, the JJ twins, are actually going to be at Mama June's on Thursday at 6:30. I believe is when they're going to be.
come to JoJo's, the Simone Biles of potato and mac shack.
There you go. That's it. And
trying to
also,
get in her
you
good
can
graces.
229-251-2521. No, I
252.
got it wrong. I got it wrong. I'm trying. It's 229. Hold on. 229-252-2521.
And how do
There
you
we
remember
go.
the 25 to 21?
Because it's his age. Well,
Not my age.
not his. Well, yeah, he's really
Added all
not.
those together.
Anyway, y'all have a good night. We'll see you on Thursday.
See you Thursday.
Dude, we went way